over the break, I remembered my question. I was telling it to everybody here. They said what a great question it was, so we'll save that for next week. But right now, Jason has something he'd like to say as something for you.
All right, thank you, Alex. Unfortunately, one of my best friends, he lost his sister because of cancer about 2 weeks ago. But she enjoyed making bracelets, and the family, they're selling them at Natick High School. They're called Aisha's Angel Wear at Natick High School for $15, and all the money is going to the Mass General Pain Care Center. So make sure you come on down to Natick High School and check it out.
Thank you very much, Jason. Okay, so now spring in Boston. It's getting a little bit warmer, or at least it should be getting a little bit warmer. Trees are starting to get leaves again, and Red Sox are playing baseball down in Florida, which means we just have a little less than a week till opening day. Opens up Friday in Texas. Red Sox at the defending AL champion Rangers. Guys, how much are you looking forward to baseball season this year?
Oh, I'm ready for it. It's springtime here. I'm ready to come on. Let's go. I have a little problem with the Red Sox. I don't really see their pitching doing that well. I mean, they are on a 9-game losing streak. Now, you might just say that's spring training, but isn't this the start up to the season? And now they're not doing split squads anymore, so it's their full team and they're playing their starters. I really think that this is that they have to step up their game and they have to play and show that they have to win. I mean, they have 3 possible closers. But their closers can't get it done. Their starting pitchers have been inconsistent and have not been winning the games.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready for baseball season. It's been a long winter, especially this January here in New England. Red Sox, this could be one of the best teams that they've had in the past few years with getting Crawford from Tampa Bay. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I am so looking forward to this season with the acquisitions of Crawford and Gonzalez. They're going to be such a good hitting team, hitting-wise, obviously. And also, I'm looking forward to them. The pitching side, as you said, Riley, we might have a few difficulties, but it is spring training. I know it's not the startup of the year. It still is spring training. I'm pretty sure the starters aren't giving it their all yet. But once the season starts, you'll see Lester, who we know is the opening day starter. I called it, thank you. We'll start against Texas. I mean, I think he'll have a great season. Buckles, too. And, see, the problem is that Lackey and Matsuzaka, I think Beck will have an okay season. But Lackey and Matsuzaka, that's the problem. They both were very inconsistent last year, and I definitely think that Matsuzaka this year definitely won't do good, and I'm not so sure about Lackey either.
I'm so excited for this season. They have quite possibly the best team on paper of any team in the MLB. Gonzalez, Crawford, like you mentioned. We have great
Last
hitting.
Sunday at TD Garden, something happened that hadn't happened
be,
since 1974.
Usual this year for us to succeed, and I'm hoping a World Series.
Well, I definitely think that you have to have a full starting lineup, and just because, since Lackey and and Matsuzaka aren't playing that good, I just don't think that really gives them the depth. When the Yankees won it, they had depth here and there, and their pitching was perfect all the way around. They really got in there, and they were a great team overall.
And you guys mentioned Daisuke. I don't see him cracking the starting rotation, or if he does, I don't see him in it at the end of the year. I think right now, him and Wakefield fighting for that 5th spot. I think even if he does get in, he either gets an injury or he'll have some bad games. I don't see him in the rotation, or maybe even not in the major leagues at the end of this year. They talk about looking to deal him. Obviously, nobody wants to take on that huge contract. And this was 5 years ago. Everybody was Daisuke this, Daisuke that, the next Pedro Martinez. Looking back on that, maybe we should have let the Yankees get him. But anyway, the 3 big acquisitions this year for the Red Sox, they got Carl Crawford, they got Adrian Gonzalez, and they got Bobby Jenks. 3 guys really looking forward to. Big-time players, big-name players. Who do you see of the 3 of those guys having the biggest impact this season?
Well, I have Crawford in this situation. Crawford is my AL MVP. He is good overall. I have him also leading off. I don't know how that's going to work out, but he is fast. He is a good hitter, and he is a good outfielder. He covers everything. He's a Joe Mauer, just not a catcher. He is so good at playing the game in all aspects. And I just don't see any one of those. Bobby Jenks maybe not being as good, maybe being somebody kind of like Papelbon, here, there, goes there. Maybe doesn't win one, maybe wins one game, saves one game, not another. And Gonzalez, he's good, but not in all aspects like Crawford is.
I'm gonna go with I like Gonzalez. He's good in all aspects, I think. I think he'll be able to hit 50 home runs if he doesn't get injured. We saw Ellsbury getting injured and Pedroia getting injured last year. That kept him out of the playoffs. But I think if they all stay healthy, I think they could be a World Series team.
These three big accusations are all going to have great seasons. But it's a tough one between Crawford and Gonzalez. But I think Gonzalez has the biggest impact. He's such a home run hitter. He's such a contact hitter, too, which also Crawford is. So you think that Gonzalez doesn't have that. Crawford does the stealing bases, but Gonzalez is just such a scorer. I think that he'll have a bigger impact than Crawford.
Pencil down Gonzalez for 40 homers and 40 doubles. He's going to destroy the competition in Fenway. He's made for that park. I just can't wait to see him play. But all the acquisitions will have good impact.
So the past few years for the Red Sox, we've seen big names step up, such as Clay Buchholz. Ryan Kalish stepped up big last year. Who do you see as the guy we're not talking about right now, but at the end of the year we'll be blown away with by his performance?
Well, I definitely think a kind of a sleeper would be Jed Lowry. He came in 08 and kind of stepped in there as a big role. Really, the Red Sox aren't really, they're kind of waving around from shortstop to shortstop. Julio Lugo doesn't quite fit it for you. I mean, we never really had a great shortstop. And I think Scudero is going to turn out to be okay shortstop. But I think Jed Lowry, maybe let's say Scudero gets hurt in a couple games, Jed Lowry can step in there. He's a great player. He's a good defensive player, and he maybe not the best home run hitter, the guy who you want to see hit 30 home runs, but he can hit for average, and that's the guy who I'm looking at.
I'm going to go with Kalish. He had some big shoes to fill last season with Jason Bay obviously going to the Mets before the season, and then hitting his first pitch he saw was against Philadelphia. He had a grand slam. I think he could do it again. I like Ryan Kalish.
Well, there's one guy who everyone says is done, who is old and washed up, and that man is David Ortiz. I think he won't have a huge season, but he'll have a good season. I think he'll be like 25 home runs, something like 73 RBIs. Not a super season, but a good season. I think he won't be as old and washed up as everyone says he is.
Clay Buchholz will step up to be one of the AL's true aces. I think like 18 or 20 wins for him. And Ortiz, too.
Patrick, to what you said, if he steps up, that'd be great, because what he did last year was amazing. Above that would be excellent. I look at a guy, Jared, the longest last name in baseball, Saltalamacchia. Salty. I look at him, my bold prediction for baseball season. Here we go. My bold prediction for football season was that the Patriots could win Randy Moss. You laughed at me. They won 14 games. My bold prediction for basketball season, Perkins would not be on this team at the end of the year. You laughed at me. Where are we now? My bold prediction for baseball season, Jared Saltalamacchia. This is recording, right? Jared Saltalamacchia will hit 280 with 20 to 25 home runs. You heard it here first. He will be a key part in this team. He was a guy who showed a lot of potential early in his career. I think he was brought up too early. That is why he did not live up to the hype. I think he's learning under Jason Varitek, who is a very capable catcher, a guy who, despite some inability in the later part of his career, has been a solid catcher throughout his time. I think Jared Saltalamacchia rubs off on that. 280, 20 to 25 home runs. Guys, what are you looking forward to the most about baseball season?
Well, it's a great time. I think the Red Sox are going to do good overall. Maybe not win the World Series, maybe not win the ALCS, but they're going to go far. I saw the New York Times this morning. They pick Oakland. I don't really see how that's going. I see Braden guy. He pitching the perfect game last year. I mean, the Rangers we're probably going to have a good year. This also Giants, but then also look for the Padres. The Giants just beating out the Padres last year by a little bit to get to get into the last day. You saw them win the World Series. Watch out for the Padres.
I'm going to look forward to this being yet another year of the pitchers. We had 2 and what should have been 3 perfect games in
2 and 26/27ths of a perfect game. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alex has got a point. Although that umpire on that last play, that was the wrong call.
I gotta say, being an umpire myself, even if he's safe, I'm calling that out every time. Please don't fire me, Neil. Anyway.
Yeah, so definitely I think Roy Halladay is going to step up big. Philadelphia, they have a big pitching staff. Roy Oswalt, Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, and Cole Hamels. I think they're going to win at least 120 games, and I think the World Series, my World Series prediction, Boston, Philadelphia going all the way.
120 games, a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the question? I am so off tonight.
Like? What's your?
I'm like
Dylan,
you
and me both. You and me both. It's fine. So, what are you looking forward to most to watch this season? And then what's your prediction? What's your prediction for who we're going to see in October?
Thank you for catching me up on that. So, what I'm looking most forward this season is how many home runs Adrian Gonzalez hits. He is such a batter. I love him. I mean, I think it was a pretty big steal that they got him. Sort of like how Cliff Lee ended up going back with the Phillies. Now the Rangers, the Yankees tried so hard to get him, but they didn't. So so who I think we're going to see in October is Sox Reds. Sox Reds. Look out for Joey Votto and the Reds, and I think the Sox pull away with the World Series.
I'm sticking to Sox Phillies, but the thing I'm anticipating most is how the Sox, the most dangerous team on paper in my opinion, will play out in real situations against teams like the Phillies if they meet them in the World Series.
Philly's such a good, just adding one more thing. They have such a great pitching staff overall, and also good offensive team.
It's a guy I'm looking really forward to watching. Last year we had Steven Strasburg of the Washington Nationals. He's going to have Tommy John surgery, so we don't get to see him this year. But we do get to see another national prospect, that being Bryce Harper. I think he'll come up somewhere in the middle of the season. And he's a guy, he looked great playing down in high school and college, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do on a major league level. And my World Series prediction, Red Sox over Phillies. I think you have the great hitting of the Red Sox against the great pitching of the series, and it's going to come down to the Red Sox pitching against the Phillies hitting. That's all the time we have for K-Sports Sunday. I'm Alex Barth for Ryland, Jason, Dylan, Patrick, I remembered your name, Jeff, I remembered his name, and Max. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. Oh, we ran out of time. We were going to talk about international curling. Maybe next week. Have a good night, everybody.